Hi, welcome to Deel and to your onboarding experience in Italy. We know that you may have many questions as you onboard with us in Italy, so we will be going through some country-specific information. The employment agreement. At the second step of the onboarding process, you are asked to indicate the level in previous employment. If you were working in Italy, please indicate the job category that you had. If you were working abroad or as a freelancer, please select this option. This information and the specific of the role are reviewed to assign the job category, which will be specified in the contract of employment. The job category assessment might take up to 5 business days due to necessary internal verifications. Some useful hints on the content of the contract. In a contract of employment, you won't find any reference to a collective agreement. You may find the Annex C useful as it explains the Italian rule for vacation and paid leave, notice period, working hours, social security and insurance contributions. If benefits are offered, the information are captured on the Deel platform and in the Benefit tab, not in the contract. Health and safety requirements. Each employee is required to undertake a medical check and to complete a mandatory health and safety training. These steps are arranged for you, and you will be contacted by our provider in a given time. Please note that the certificates to be uploaded in the compliance documents part are optional and will not block the onboarding process. You can reschedule the medical check by replying to the email sent, but the locations are limited. The medical check has to be performed by the company doctor and no other practitioner can certify that you are fit for work. If you believe that you can be exempt from taking the course because you already have an health and safety certificate, kindly upload it on Deel platform. The certificate shall meet certain requirements set by law and we will review it. You may have heard of the tax program called Regime Impatriati or Rientro dei Cervelli. The program is for individuals who move or relocate their tax residence to Italy. In case of doubts on the eligibility to this exemption, we recommend to consult Agenzia delle Entrate webpage and with local tax offices or tax experts. If you are eligible and the contract of employment is active, please contact us. We will first ask you to share proof of having lived abroad for more than 2 years and proof of residence in Italy. We will later send the necessary application form for your signature. This written request should be submitted to each employer. We thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Italian specifics. We hope this video was helpful.
So you want to hire an employee in another country? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Guy from Deel, and we're leading the charge to help every business hire anyone, anywhere around the world. So let's jump right into it. If you're trying to hire an employee in another country, chances are you'll need to set up an entity. That means you'll probably hear your CFO saying something like, "Not another one, really?" Or HR being like, "Now we have to figure out all the local labor laws." It's not a super easy or fun thing to set up. It basically means you need to have a local office, an address registered as a subsidiary, a local bank account, having to do all this, plus navigating regional benefits, payroll, taxes, compliance, HR laws. It can take a long time, costs a lot of money to do. Your business can also get into some trouble if you don't properly comply with the local labor laws. Think things like termination, parental leave, minimum wage. Have you ever tried terminating someone in France or Brazil? Trust me, it's a headache, and that's when EOR comes in handy. So what exactly is an EOR? An EOR allows companies to quickly hire an employee anywhere in the world without having to set up a local entity. Essentially, the EOR acts as a local foothold in a country where the business operates in. So they can seamlessly hire an employee on a business's behalf. Say you're a British business and you want to make a hire in Argentina. Well, with an EOR you can. So once you onboard with an EOR, they'll take care of everything. Hiring, onboarding, HR admin. So you're fully compliant to hire everywhere. So, how does this all work? While an employee will be on the payroll of the EOR, they'll still technically work for the company using the EOR, just like any employee. When the EOR onboards the employee, they'll sign a localized contract with explicit details of their role and their responsibilities at the company where they're working. So on the EOR's end, they handle everything related to hiring. That means creating the compliant contracts, making sure income taxes and salaries are paid, and covering social contributions as well. Basically, all statutory requirements in that country. Now, while the EOR takes care of all this, it's the company's responsibility to pay the employer costs. So what do employer costs actually entail? Now, employer costs are the benefits, the taxes, and the fees a government actually requires the employer to pay when hiring in their country. These costs are based on the employee's salary. They're different in every country and they can change year over year. Let's talk about equity. The big question we always get asked, can the business provide employees with equity? The short answer is yes, but it really depends on the country. For example, in the US, companies can issue what's called non-qualified stock options, also known as NSOs. Since the company doesn't actually have a direct relationship with the employee, the NSO is actually the only viable option. So how do you handle benefits? Each country has its own set of laws with benefits they have to provide to employees. These range from health and unemployment insurance to social security. The EOR exists to ensure every employee receives all the necessary localized benefits, along with any optional benefits the employer would like to also provide. How to deal with intellectual property and non-competes. EOR services tend to have IP protection clauses built into their contracts. This means that any and all IP passes through to the customer. It's not the only way to do this, but it is the most enforceable. Also, it's good to note that while in theory a non-compete sounds ideal, they don't typically work internationally. And lastly, what about contract termination and severance? Handling these according to a country's local labor law is crucial. These laws often vary depending on the employee's location, though typically you always need to pay attention to the proper termination notice, the severance payouts, and managing any accrued benefits like unused holidays. The EOR manages the entire process to ensure everything goes super smoothly. Luckily, with Deel, you can use us as your EOR to hire seamlessly in over 100 countries worldwide. It's payroll, compliance, and full-time employment all in one dashboard. Yeah? Again?
Work's gone global, but until now, no HR platform has been able to handle everything for everyone. Some teams have to use up to 16 different tools to make things work. Deel's the future of global HR, and it's the only platform that works for your team wherever they are, whatever their status. Easily handle international hiring, payroll, and HR with one powerful platform. Hire contractors and employees worldwide, even if you don't own an entity. Once you find a candidate, onboard them with a localized contract and a visa if needed. We even provide powerful salary insights, so you can be sure your offer's competitive, and we'll automatically collect any necessary compliance documents. Get your team set up fast with built-in background checks, equipment, WeWork passes, and effortless app access. Then manage the entire worker lifecycle through one central HR platform designed with global teams in mind. Plus, handle time off, promotions, and bonuses all in a few clicks. Deel integrates with any tool to help keep your data and workflows synced. You'll get a first-of-its-kind worldview of your entire team's headcount, payroll, and productivity in one place. On payday, consolidate payroll for contractors, international, and local employees. We'll take care of the contractor invoicing, plus employee taxes, benefits, pay slips, and more. Deel has everything you need to run a global team efficiently, and it's the only platform built for everyone and everything, everywhere. Learn how Deel can simplify your global team needs at Deel.com.